Behind me, 2010 Toyota Corolla. We're going to be replacing the front brake pads and rotors. Probably some of the easiest brakes you'll ever replace. Let's get started. First thing we want to do is jack the vehicle up, put it on jack stands, and we'll pull the tire off. Now let's turn the wheel so we get better access to our caliper. So now we'll take a flat bladed screwdriver, put it in this window, and we'll pull the caliper towards us. Just like that. What that's doing is sucking in the caliper piston and letting us know that our slide pins are not seized. Just go all the way till it bottoms out. Just about like that. All right. Now that gets our caliper piston in most of the way. We'll still need to push it in just a little bit further, but this helps us out. Our two caliper bolts are a 14 millimeter. Let's break them loose. Now if this starts to spin on you here, that's okay. You can take a pair of pliers and hold it in place. Now we'll take a caliper hanger, put it in this window, and we'll suspend it from our strut. Nice and out of the way. We'll pull off our pads just with that screwdriver, give it a good tap, comes right out. There we go. Now I like taking the hardware off while the bracket's held in place. Just with our screwdriver, we'll hit up. There we go. On the top, we'll hit down. Perfect. We won't be reusing these, so no worries. Now with our flat screwdriver, we'll just scrape out all this crust. These are aluminum brackets, so there shouldn't be a lot of rust, just a little bit of crust. Just get all that. The majority of the crust will be on the bottom, but we'll scrape the top anyway. Now you could do this with the bracket off the vehicle, it's up to you. If you feel like you need a little bit more of a clean, you could take a wire brush to it once you have it off. This will get the bulk. There we go. Next, what I like to do while the bracket's still on is pull out our slide pins and we'll apply new grease. Pop these out of their boot, just like that. Take a rag, wipe all that stuff off, get all that old grease. Perfect. Now we'll apply a silicone paste or a caliper grease just for these slide pins. We'll just put it on, spread it around, get it nice evenly coated, put it back in. I like to twist it while I put it back in. Might not be necessary, but just makes me feel good. Do that to the bottom, pop it out of the boot, wipe it off real good. There we go. Apply new grease. Now this little rubber piece on the end here sometimes has a hard time going back in. Don't force anything. That's why I like twisting it. Just give it a twist, a wiggle. It should pop back in. There we go. Got it. Make sure it slides back and forth nice and freely. Now we can pull off our caliper bracket. 17 millimeter for our bracket bolts. There we go. Just buzz these the rest of the way off. And we can set this aside. Now taking off a rotor. We're not going to reuse this. We got a new rotor, so you can hit it anywhere you want. Just take a sledge, smack on it. There we go. And off it comes. I want to make sure our hub surface is nice and clean. We'll take that flat screwdriver, just knock down anything that may be raised. We want our rotor to fit nice and flush. Now if you need, you can use a wire wheel attached to a drill and just get it cleaned up the best you can. This looks pretty good. Just get some of these hot spots. Perfect. Now let's prep our rotor. Now our new rotor comes with a protective coating to keep it fresh during storage. So we'll take some brake clean, spray it off, and we'll just wipe it really good. Just to get as much of that coating off as possible. Wipe around. All right, let's go install it. We'll just put our rotor on, just like that. I like taking one of the old lug nuts and just screwing it on the bottom, just like that. There, that'll hold the rotor in place for us. Now let's put the new hardware on the caliper bracket. Our new hardware just snaps right in. Just push it in, get it in as far as you can. Do that to the other. Now there is an orientation to these that we want to pay attention to. Let me just snap this in and I'll show you. Okay, just a little closer. What we want is this little retaining spring here, the loop of it to the outside of the bracket, and the spring to the inside. Let me put one on backwards and show you how not to do it. So let me just flip this around, see if it'll even let me. It might not. Yeah, okay, kind of. So you see how this loop is towards the inside? That's not correct. And then the spring here is towards the outside. That's not correct. So we want the loop to the outside, the spring to the inside. Hopefully that makes sense. You can study the old one, or if you do one side at a time and you forget, then you can look at the other side as a reference. But that's how it should go. Now we'll just flip this over, do the same thing. So that would go like this. And this one would go like this. There, perfect. Now we just put our bracket back on. Suck these down. And the information I have says these are torqued to 79 foot-pounds. All right, let's put our brake pads in. If your brake pads came with a wear indicator that you need to install yourself, go ahead and install it. And we want it on the top. So this one goes to the outside, so our wear indicator is on the top. Sometimes you just need to twist it just a smidge to get it started, and then push it in, just like that. Should go in nice and easy. And then same with this on the inside. Our wear indicator is on the top. Push it in. There we go. Now let's push in our caliper piston the rest of the way. Just gonna put one of the old brake pads right in like that. Put in our tool. Now there's lots of different tools that do the exact same thing. I'll have a link in the description for one of them. Then we just push it all in, just like that. Let me push it to the side, and you can see how it's getting set in. There we go, it's getting pushed in. And we're bottomed out. That's it. Let me just put our caliper on, make sure the brake hose isn't twisted. Just like that. Might have to push in your slide pins a little. There we go. Get these started. Suck them in the rest of the way. Now these are torqued at 25 foot-pounds. If you're using a big long torque wrench like this, it won't feel like a lot, but trust the wrench. 25 is our torque. All right. Perfect. All right, that's it. We'll straighten our wheel out, put the tire back on, and then we want to pump up our brakes. That'll put fluid back in our caliper piston so we don't overflow our master cylinder. I like doing one side at a time. Once this tire is on, brakes pumped up, I'll go to the other side and do the exact same thing. And that's it. Job complete. All right, that is it. You are almost done. One more thing to do. We got to take it for a test drive and break in our new brakes. How we do that is take the vehicle up to about 30, 35 miles an hour, and then come to a nice solid stop. Now we don't want to lock the brakes, but we do want to feel that nice positive stop. We'll do that again, up to 30, 35 miles an hour, come to a nice positive stop. 3, 4, even 5 times, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching. I'll have a link in the description for all the parts and tools used in this repair. If this is helpful, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you on the next one.